The stars above Seriphus twinkled like scattered gems, their light reflecting off the sleek, metallic buildings of the human colony below. Life had grown steady on this distant planet, a hub for traders, miners, and explorers. Yet, even in such a thriving settlement, whispers of something strange often stirred. That day, the whispers would grow louder. A small transport ship descended quietly through the atmosphere. Its design was elegant, yet unfamiliar, a mix of human and alien technology. From within emerged a figure who immediately drew attention. She walked with calm authority, her movements precise, almost regal. Humans stopped in their tracks, curiosity replacing their daily routines. She introduced herself simply as Liara, a historian and diplomat traveling the galaxy. Her appearance was wholly human, tall, graceful, and with eyes that seemed to see far beyond the immediate world, but there was something unspoken in her presence, a subtle power that made people instinctively respect her. Captain Rylan Varys, head of the colony's security, watched her from a distance. He had faced smugglers, pirates, and even small alien raiders, yet something about Liara unsettled him. She was calm, composed, and smiled politely at everyone she met. But her eyes, those piercing, calculating eyes, suggested she knew far more than she let on. Rylan approached her cautiously. "Welcome to Seriphus," he said, offering a firm handshake. Liara's smile remained soft but unreadable. "I come seeking knowledge," she replied. "Seriphus is known for its trade archives and cultural records. I wish to study the histories of human settlements beyond Earth." Her words were polite, almost mundane, yet Rylan felt a flicker of unease. It was not what she said, but how she carried herself. She did not look like a traveler. She looked like someone who commanded worlds. As Liara toured the colony, the townsfolk quickly noticed odd things happening around her. A gust of wind cleared debris from the streets. Exactly when she walked by, machinery that had been malfunctioning for weeks suddenly hummed to life after her touch. Children playing nearby seemed inexplicably drawn to her presence, smiling without fear. None of it was overt, but the sense of something extraordinary lingered. Rylan followed her discreetly, noting every detail. He had seen advanced alien tech before, but this was different. It was subtle yet powerful, almost as if the environment itself recognized her authority. The first real test of her abilities came sooner than anyone expected. A small alien faction, unknown to the humans of Seriphus, launched a surprise attack on the colony. Ships darted across the sky, weapons flashing bright as explosions shook the streets. Panic swept through the citizens, but Liara remained calm. Without a word, she moved forward, coordinating the evacuation. Civilians who had been frozen with fear followed her instructions instinctively. Liara's gestures were precise, here to hide, there to help, and within moments, chaos began to organize. Rylan arrived at the scene, weapon in hand. He watched in disbelief as Liara moved between injured colonists and aggressive aliens with uncanny speed and skill. Her strikes were fluid, almost artistic, yet devastating. Alien attackers who had believed the humans were easy prey faltered under her onslaught. By the time the battle ended, the attackers had retreated. The colony had suffered minor damage, but no lives were lost. Rylan approached her, awe mixing with suspicion. "That was incredible," he said. "Who are you, really?" Liara's expression softened. "I am only what I appear to be," she replied, her voice calm. "A traveler seeking knowledge. These events are unfortunate, but I could not stand idle while innocents were in danger." Rylan frowned, sensing her words were only half the truth. He wanted to ask more, to press her for answers, but something in her gaze made him pause. There was wisdom and power there, beyond anything he had encountered before. In the days that followed, Liara integrated into the colony's daily life. She visited archives, libraries, and workshops, studying human history with a genuine fascination. Her questions were thoughtful, often revealing insights that even Rylan and other seasoned colonists had not considered. She praised human ingenuity, noting how they adapted quickly to challenges, how they solved problems creatively, and how they fought even when outmatched. Liara seemed particularly intrigued by human cooperation. She observed teams working together to repair ships, scientists coordinating experiments, and families supporting each other through difficulties. Each time, she nodded slightly, as if marking these moments as proof of something important. One evening, as Rylan walked her back to her quarters, he asked cautiously, "Why are you so interested in humans?" "We're just a colony on the edge of the galaxy." Liara paused, looking at the starry horizon. "Humans are more than they seem. You possess qualities that many advanced civilizations underestimate. Courage, creativity, adaptability. These are rare, even among the most powerful empires." Rylan hesitated. "And what do you really want from us?" Liara's eyes met his, calm, yet unwavering. "Only to learn. And perhaps, to help, if I can." But humans were not the only ones paying attention. Across the galaxy, Liara's arrival had not gone unnoticed. A shadowy alien faction, aware of her presence, began moving quietly, their intentions dark. They sought to capture her, unaware that the human colony was now intertwined with one of the most powerful beings in the galaxy. Several days later, a strange signal was detected from Liara's ship. The colony's sensors picked up unusual energy readings, waves that pulsed like heartbeats across the sky. When Rylan investigated, he found Liara in the ship's control room, her hands hovering above alien interfaces that seemed beyond comprehension. "You can't. You shouldn't," Rylan said, uneasy. Liara smiled faintly. "I am sending a warning," she explained. "There are forces in the galaxy that seek to dominate. This signal will alert them that Scifi is protected, and that humans are not defenseless." Before Rylan could respond, the ship's systems displayed a holographic map of the galaxy, highlighting regions controlled by the alien faction. Liara's presence in the colony was no accident. It was a test, a preparation for what might come. Rylan felt a mix of fear and awe. Humans had always thought themselves small, insignificant in the vast galaxy. But here, in Liara's presence, he began to see their potential. The courage, creativity, and resilience that Liara praised were qualities humans might need to survive future challenges. Then, as if on cue, the colony's alarms blared. Another attack was imminent. This time, the alien faction had come in full force, larger and more coordinated. Explosions rocked the streets, and panic spread like wildfire. Liara stepped forward, calm and composed. "Rylan, gather the teams. Evacuate civilians and defend the central hub. I will guide you." Rylan nodded, his heart pounding, but he felt a surge of confidence. Humans were not alone, and with Liara's guidance, they had a chance. The battle was fierce. Humans, under Liara's direction, used clever traps, improvised weapons, and strategic positions. Liara herself moved through the battlefield with unmatched skill, neutralizing threats with precision. Yet, despite her power, she remained almost hidden, allowing humans to take initiative and fight bravely. By dawn, the attackers retreated, leaving the colony battered but alive. Humans had survived, not only because of Liara, but because they had risen to the challenge, using their intelligence and courage to make a difference. Rylan approached her once more, exhausted and amazed. "I don't understand. How are you here, and why do you care about us?" Liara looked at him with a soft, knowing smile. "You will understand in time. Humans are stronger than you realize. And sometimes, strength is not about power alone. It is about heart, courage, and unity. These are qualities I have long admired. And now, I will help you nurture them." That night, as the stars glimmered above Scifi, humans slept uneasily, unaware of the larger galaxy watching them. Little did they know, the woman among them was not merely human. She was the Empress of a distant alien empire, a being whose power could shape worlds. And though she wore a human form, her heart now carried a new purpose: to protect, guide, and prepare humanity for the challenges yet to come. But even as humans rested, a dark shadow moved across the galaxy. Forces that sought control over human colonies stirred, sensing a new, unseen power. And the first part of the story closed with one certainty: the quiet colony of Scifi was no longer a simple outpost. It was a stage for events that could change the fate of the galaxy. The morning sun cast a golden light across the colony of Scifi, illuminating the damage from the recent attack. Buildings were scarred, streets littered with debris. And yet, life went on. Humans were resilient, as Liara had noted. Even in the face of danger, they continued repairing, rebuilding, and preparing for the unknown. Captain Rylan Varys walked among the team's clearing rubble. His eyes were sharp, constantly scanning for threats. The attack had shaken him, but it had also opened his mind to possibilities he had never considered. Humans were not just survivors, they were thinkers, problem solvers, capable of courage beyond expectation. Liara observed quietly from a distance. She had taken a small, discreet room in the colony's central hub, but she spent most of her time among the people. Her presence was calm, reassuring, and yet subtly commanding. Children followed her with curiosity, workers shared their stories, and even seasoned colonists sought her guidance. Yet, beneath her serene exterior, Liara's mind was occupied with calculations far beyond human understanding. The alien faction that had attacked Scifi was only the beginning. Their movements across the galaxy suggested a coordinated effort to assimilate human colonies, to control them before they could grow strong. Liara knew that she could not confront them alone, nor could she allow humans to face this threat unprepared. Rylan approached her one afternoon, carrying a datapad filled with maps and sensor readings. "We've tracked unusual energy signatures near the outer systems," he said, pointing to a series of blinking markers. "We think that faction is moving toward other human settlements. If they succeed, Scifi won't be the only target." Liara nodded, her eyes scanning the maps. "Then we must act," she said simply. "But first, we must understand them. Information is power, Captain, and humans have something that even they may not realize: the ability to adapt, to innovate." Rylan raised an eyebrow. "You mean, train them to fight?" Liara shook her head gently. "Not only to fight, to think, to act. Humans have courage, but they lack knowledge of the broader galaxy. I will share what I can, but you must lead them. Their ingenuity will be their greatest weapon." Thus began a new chapter for the colony. Liara worked closely with Rylan to train a small strike team, selecting humans who had shown intelligence, quick thinking, and bravery. Engineers, scientists, and security officers alike were brought together. At first, they were uncertain, skeptical even. But under Liara's guidance, they began to excel. She demonstrated subtle techniques, ways to manipulate alien devices, strategies for predicting enemy movements, and methods for defending against unexpected attacks. She did not show them her full power. Instead, she taught them to rely on themselves, to combine their skills in ways that were uniquely human. One of the trainees, a young engineer named Mara Tress, marveled at Liara's insights. "It's incredible," she said during a simulation. "She understands technology in a way I've never seen. But she doesn't just solve problems, she makes us solve them. She trusts us to think." Liara's eyes softened as she watched Mara work. "Trust is essential," she said. "Even the strongest power is useless without trust. And humans have the potential to wield great influence if they learn to trust themselves and each other." While the humans trained, Liara and Rylan worked to gather intelligence about the alien faction. They traveled to a neutral space station, a hub where traders, diplomats, and spies from many worlds met. The station was a labyrinth of corridors, alien species, and whispered deals. Humans had never been here before, and Liara ensured that they felt both awe and responsibility. Here, Liara revealed part of the truth behind her mission. The faction that attacked Seraphis is not merely seeking conquest, she explained to Rylan and the team. They wish to assimilate colonies, to absorb their resources and knowledge into their empire. Their methods are efficient and ruthless. We must understand their strategy before we can stop them. Rylan listened carefully, impressed by her clarity and foresight. Humans had faced threats before, but nothing like this. And yet, he noticed something remarkable. Liara did not treat them as inferior. She treated them as partners, as capable allies. This, more than anything, inspired him. Days passed, and the humans began to demonstrate true ingenuity. They cracked alien codes, modified technology, and devised strategies that even Liara had not considered. She watched them with growing admiration, realizing that humans were not only brave, they were adaptable in ways few species could match. But the calm was shattered one night. While investigating sensor readings near the outskirts of the space station, Liara and Rylan detected movement, a stealth vessel, almost invisible, approaching from the shadows. It was the alien faction. They had tracked Liara and were now moving to strike. "Prepare the team," Liara ordered. Her voice was steady, though Rylan noticed a slight tension in her posture. "This is more than a test. They want to capture me. And if they succeed, humans will be next." The humans readied themselves, hearts pounding but minds focused. Liara instructed them to hold defensive positions while she moved toward the vessel, her form nearly blending into the environment. What happened next was both shocking and revealing. As the battle erupted, Liara demonstrated skills beyond any human comprehension. She moved with incredible speed, neutralizing attackers with precision, her energy manipulating systems and weapons in ways humans could not. Yet, she remained careful, restraining herself, allowing humans to contribute meaningfully. During the fight, Liara was injured. A blast grazed her arm, leaving a deep wound. Humans gasped, realizing for the first time that she could be harmed. She did not cry out, but she slowed slightly, and her vulnerability was undeniable. Rylan rushed to her side. "You're hurt. We need to get you to safety." Liara shook her head. "No. They must not see me weakened. Keep going, humans. Protect yourselves. And each other." Her words struck Rylan deeply. She was powerful beyond measure. Yet she trusted humans to take responsibility. And they did. Inspired by her example, the team worked together, using their skills to fend off the attackers. Engineers improvised defensive barriers, strategists predicted enemy movements, and security officers fought with courage and determination. By dawn, the alien vessel retreated. Humans had survived, not because of Liara's power alone, but because of their teamwork, intelligence, and bravery. Liara, though injured, had played a critical role, but her restraint had allowed humans to prove themselves. As she sat in the infirmary, tending to her wound, Rylan could not help but ask the question that had been on his mind since her arrival. "Why do you risk yourself for us? We're just a colony. You could leave, and we'd be defenseless." Liara's gaze was soft, almost sad. "Humans are not just another species to observe. You have potential. You possess qualities that many galactic civilizations overlook: courage, creativity, unity. These qualities, combined with knowledge, can make you stronger than even the most powerful factions. I cannot leave you unprepared." Her words resonated with Rylan. Humans had always believed themselves small in the grand galaxy, but Liara's presence was teaching them a different truth. They could be brave. They could think. They could face impossible odds and sometimes even influence the fate of worlds. In the following days, Liara's recovery allowed her to share another revelation. She had hidden a fragment of her own power within a device she had brought from her ship, a form of energy humans could harness safely for defense. Empress and the other trainees experimented carefully, guided by Liara, and soon learned to manipulate the energy in small but meaningful ways. Humans were no longer entirely dependent on Liara. They had begun to understand the galaxy, to develop their own strengths, and to prepare for the challenges that would surely come. Yet, even as progress was made, a darker truth emerged. The alien faction was not defeated. They were regrouping, coordinating attacks across multiple systems. Liara's presence on Seraphis had not gone unnoticed. The galaxy was watching, and those who sought to dominate were closing in. One evening, Liara gathered the human team in the central hub. "Tomorrow, we strike at their base," she said. "It will be dangerous. Many will face challenges they have never encountered. But humans have something the aliens cannot understand. You have courage, ingenuity, and the ability to act when all seems lost. These qualities are your strength." Rylan nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. "And you?" he asked quietly. "Will you fight with us?" Liara smiled faintly, her expression calm but determined. "I will fight alongside you. But the battle will not be mine alone. This time, humans must take the lead. I will guide, support, and protect. But you must act. Your choices will determine the outcome." That night, humans trained late into the evening, their minds sharp and hearts determined. They were no longer a small colony at the edge of the galaxy. They were preparing to face a threat that could determine the fate of countless worlds. And at the center of it all stood Liara, the enigmatic human among them, injured yet resolute, guiding them with wisdom and strength beyond imagination. Little did they know, the wounds she carried were not just physical. They were reminders of battles fought across galaxies, of empires challenged and worlds protected. And as the humans rested, unaware of the larger forces gathering, Liara's secret remained her true power. The power of an alien Empress lay hidden, waiting for the moment it would be needed most. The second part of their journey ended with the certainty that danger was growing, alliances were forming, and humans were stepping into a role far larger than they had ever imagined. The galaxy was watching, and soon, the humans of Seraphis would discover just how strong they could be, guided by one who was more than human. The stars above the edge of the Valara system sparkled coldly, distant and indifferent, yet below them, a storm of preparation and tension raged. The human colony of Seraphis, once small and quiet, had transformed. Under Liara's guidance, its people had grown stronger, wiser, and more united. But the greatest challenge still awaited them. Captain Rylan Varys stood atop the central command hub, surveying the assembled team. Engineers checked energy shields, security officers armed themselves with improvised weapons, and scientists adjusted the newly installed alien-derived defense systems. Every human there had faced fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Yet now they stood with steady resolve. Liara walked among them, her movements careful, but her presence commanding. Her injury from the previous battle had healed faster than Rylan expected. Yet faint marks remained on her arm, a reminder that even the most powerful being could face harm. Her eyes, however, glowed with quiet determination. "The alien faction has gathered in their fortress at the edge of this system," Liara began, her voice calm and clear. "They believe their strength is unmatched. They are wrong. Today, humans will show them that courage, intelligence, and unity can rival the greatest powers in the galaxy." Rylan stepped forward, feeling the weight of responsibility. "We've trained, we've learned, and we've proven ourselves before. But are we ready?" Liara placed a hand on his shoulder. "Readiness is not about fearlessness, Captain. It is about using your mind, your heart, and your skills together. Humans are ready not because you are perfect, but because you are willing to act, to protect, to adapt." The journey to the alien fortress was tense. Liara piloted her sleek ship through asteroid fields and unstable gravitational zones, while the human team coordinated on strategy and defense. Along the way, Liara shared fragments of her knowledge, guiding them in ways that allowed human ingenuity to flourish. Mara Tress, the young engineer, worked with her team to modify the ship's shields using the alien energy fragments Liara had provided. "It's incredible," she said, adjusting the controls. "We're actually holding power that could destroy some of their weapons. And we did it ourselves." Liara nodded, smiling faintly. Yes. You are learning to become more than observers. You are becoming defenders, creators, and problem solvers. This is your strength. When they approached the alien fortress, a colossal structure carved into an asteroid, the scope of the challenge became clear. Hundreds of enemy ships patrolled the surrounding space, and energy barriers guarded the entrance. The alien faction's confidence was evident. They believed no human could breach their defenses, let alone survive. Liara gathered the team for final instructions. We will not rely on power alone. The fortress is vast, and the aliens have underestimated humans. Use strategy, cooperation, and innovation. I will guide you, but your actions will decide the outcome. The humans moved with precision. Engineers deployed energy disruptors to confuse alien sensors. Scientists activated decoy drones, drawing enemy fire away from the main strike team. Security officers led small squads to infiltrate and disable key systems. Each human used their unique skills, demonstrating creativity and courage that the aliens had never anticipated. Meanwhile, Liara moved through the fortress like a shadow. Her true alien form remained hidden, though faint energy traces hinted at the extraordinary power she contained. She neutralized threats with speed and precision, but never overshadowed the humans. They were the ones making critical decisions, improvising when plans faltered, and adapting to unexpected dangers. At the heart of the fortress, the human strike team encountered the alien leaders. A fierce battle ensued. And for the first time, humans fully demonstrated the lessons they had learned. Mara used her modified energy shields to protect her team. Engineers rigged alien weapons to backfire, and Rylan coordinated attacks with calm authority. Yet the enemy was strong. The aliens' leader, a towering figure with advanced armor and weapons, engaged Liara directly. Seeing her team in danger, Liara could no longer restrain herself. Energy surged around her as she revealed her true form. Her human guise faded, replaced by a majestic alien presence. Her eyes glowed with cosmic light. Her aura radiated power that bent reality subtly around her. Energy waves rippled through the air, disabling alien weaponry and sending attackers sprawling. Even the alien leader faltered, astonished by her strength. But Liara did not act alone. She fought alongside humans, not above them. She coordinated with Rylan, using her knowledge to enhance their strategies, while humans executed complex maneuvers with courage and creativity. The battle turned, not because of raw power alone, but because humans had grown into capable allies. They exploited weaknesses, improvised solutions, and trusted each other completely. Liara's presence amplified their abilities, but it was their ingenuity and bravery that finally tipped the scales. One by one, alien defenders fell or retreated. The alien leader, recognizing defeat, attempted a final, desperate strike, only to be stopped by Rylan and his team. Working seamlessly with Liara's guidance, the fortress erupted in controlled explosions, disabling its systems without destroying life unnecessarily, a testament to human precision and compassion. When the dust settled, the humans and Liara stood victorious. The fortress was neutralized, the alien factions scattered, and the immediate threat to human colonies ended. For the first time, humans fully realized their potential. They had faced a superior enemy and emerged not just intact, but empowered. Liara, back in her human form, surveyed the exhausted but triumphant team. "Today, you have proven something remarkable," she said. "Humans are capable of great strength, not just physical or technological, but moral, creative, and courageous strength. You are no longer simply a colony. You are defenders of your own destiny." Rylan, breathing heavily, met her gaze. You believed in us. Even when we doubted ourselves. We couldn't have done this without you." Liara shook her head. "No. You did this. I only guided you. Humans have qualities that even the most advanced civilizations underestimate. Courage, adaptability, and unity. These are powers of their own. Remember that, always." The team returned to Seraphis as heroes. The colony celebrated not only their survival, but their transformation. Humans had grown from a small outpost at the edge of the galaxy into a force capable of defending themselves and influencing the broader universe. In the days that followed, Liara remained among them, teaching, observing, and guiding. She had revealed a fragment of her true power, enough to ensure victory. But she chose to remain in human form for now, honoring the trust and courage she had witnessed. Humans had learned that strength came not from domination but from cooperation, intelligence, and bravery. They had discovered their own potential, and in doing so, they had earned the respect of one of the galaxy's most powerful beings. Liara knew the galaxy was still vast, full of unknown challenges and potential threats. Yet she had seen something unique in humanity. A spark that could grow into greatness. And for the first time in centuries, she felt hope not just for herself, but for the humans she had come to admire. The stars above Scifi gleamed as if in quiet approval. The galaxy had witnessed a small but powerful truth. Humans, when united, courageous, and inventive, could stand against even the mightiest forces. And with Liara as an ally and mentor, their future held promise, adventure, and the possibility of shaping the destiny of countless worlds. The story of Scifi, of the humans who had risen to face impossible odds, and of the Empress in human form, was only the beginning. For humanity had proven itself, and the galaxy would never forget it.